So I'm not really happy with who I am right now. I'm lazy, unfit, I can't focus, and life seems to be passing me by. So I needed to do something to push myself in the right direction, away from who I am right now and more towards who I want to become. Now this video is going to be a more personal one about how I intend to overcome those challenges in my life. However, if you have any of those issues that I mentioned at the start, by watching this video, you'll get some ideas on how you can solve them for you. Before we go too deep into this, I want to say that if you are going through any issues in your life or you want to change yourself in some way, don't just watch this video, leave a like, and forget about it. I'm putting out this video so that you can grow and improve and have a plan just like I do. So use these ideas and implement them into your own life. Don't just watch what I'm doing. Okay, and with that, back onto my plan. So in the past couple months, I've been going through some really huge changes. I just graduated university and moved back to Trinidad and Tobago, all the way from Canada. With that came a lot of big changes. I was no longer in the environment that I was used to, and I'm now in the real world. I no longer have the same friend group and even girlfriend, and I'm gonna be joining the job world soon. So because of all this, it feels like I'm entering a new chapter in my life, and as a result, I wanted to hit the ground running for it and plan for it. It just made sense to me that if I'm going into this new phase and go into it with the best me I can. And to be honest, there are a few problems that I have right now in my life that I think need addressing before I can go further. The first and a big one for me is that I am not as fit as I would like to be. So this was so impactful for me because in the past, I was really active. I used to do karate and play football with my friends and just in general engage in a lot more physical activity. And as a result, I ended up getting a pretty nice physique as well. And although I look like your typical college bro, it was more in a shape that I liked and enjoyed for myself. Flash forward to now, I feel a lot more unfit, and you can see it physically, but more importantly for me, I don't have the performance that I used to have. And that's really not a position I'm used to being in, and it's one that I really want to change and get back to. So for all these, I decided to make a really actionable plan for myself that would really drive me towards making that consistent progress each day on it. What I ended up using were SMART goals. I have a whole other video about SMART goals that you can check out at the end of this one, but it's just a goal setting framework that makes goals more likely to be achieved. So for my fitness goal, it was obvious that I need to get more exercise. So for fitness, my goal is to work out for 5 minutes every day for the next 90 days. The next problem that I'm facing is I'm noticing a big lack of focus. Sometimes when I sit down or try to get work done, my mind is wandering and going into all different sorts of places and not focusing on that work. And it really stops me from doing that work efficiently. And in general, it's just not a good place to be because I don't get to be as creative or as thoughtful on what I am doing in the moment. When it comes to lack of focus, there's one real thing that comes to mind, and that is meditation. Now, this is a hobby and a practice that I've always been trying to pick up, but I never was able to get it permanent because something like this, something when it comes to your brain changing, needs time. And I want to actually give it the time it needs and to see if it will change overall or if maybe meditation doesn't work for me. So the SMART goal for meditation is I will meditate for 5 minutes every day for the next 90 days. The next problem that I want to tackle is I feel like I'm not living as intentionally as I want to. I just had this feeling like life was passing by and I was just kind of there along for the ride. I want to be able to now live more intentionally and really take in the good moments and commemorate that, to document that. One thing that I saw was this Skillshare course by Nathaniel Drew. This whole course was focused on how to document your life. And I think that this is a real good answer to the problem that I'm facing. He talked about journaling, and the journals are so important because you are able to write down and take down how you thought about a topic, and you can look back on it as well to see how you changed. So the SMART goal for that is I will journal 1 sentence every day for the next 90 days. The next is a lot of the time I don't feel as personally productive as I would like. This is something that I've been struggling with for a hot minute. I have a real issue, or something that I see as an issue, when it comes to my internal drive and motivation to do things. There will be a lot of days when I don't do anything although I want to, and I really want to be able to work towards things I want, whether it's learning new things or whether it is putting stuff out for YouTube or whatever it might be. And this SMART goal is going to be that I will work towards Isaiah Improves for 5 minutes every day for the next 90 days. And what I mean by Isaiah Improves is not just the YouTube channel, it is improving Isaiah. So these are all the goals I have for the next 90 days. But one thing you might be wondering is why those goals are so small. You know, how do I actually expect 5 minutes every day to change my fitness? Well, you see, I don't. The whole point of these goals is to establish a habit, to establish a routine in my life where I do those things every day. I don't plan to do only 5 minutes or these small amounts. I actually plan to do more. This is something that I picked up in the book Atomic Habits. If you make the goals that you're trying to do really small, it lowers the likelihood of you being able to make excuses to not do it. In each of these goals, I made sure to change my environment or the way I lived a bit in order to make me more likely to achieve them each day. For exercise, I changed my environment by putting my workout shoes by the door and leaving them there permanently so I could easily just grab them and put them on. I also put a section in my dresser that is only workout clothes. And what that does is it makes it very easy for me to just grab them and get them all in one place. I also made sure to put my workout equipment in my room, visible and in view. That will also give me a constant reminder that, oh, this is here and I can work out whenever I want. For meditation, the shift to my environment was pretty small. I just tried my best to work it into my morning routine. So as soon as I wake up, after I make my bed, I meditate. I also have a chair in my bedroom that is kind of informally the meditation chair. That is what I will be using for that. I think having a consistent place is going to be really good for that goal, just because it helps build that routine a little further. Now for the journaling, and this is one that I'm really excited to talk about. Now I mentioned that Nathaniel Drew had a Skillshare course that I watched, and in one of the things that he said is to have 2 journals. One that you do for your big mental thoughts, your big breakthroughs, and one that you do for more day-to-day stuff. So the way that really helps is now that I have those categories, it makes it easier to know when to journal and when to pick up a pen. One thing that I think is going to be really helpful for the journaling is I'm going to place my journals by my bedside table. It's going to make it really easy to tick that task off every day. I literally just need to roll over and write that sentence. If you've been on the channel for a while, you know that I like audio journaling, which is basically talking to your phone and using that as a journal entry. So I'm also going to try to work that in for the moments when I don't want to pick up a pen but want to get something off of my chest. The audio journaling really comes in clutch for that. And for the tasks for my personal development, they're pretty small because right now I don't think I'll have an issue to do them as I have a lot of free time. But for when that doesn't happen, I try to do a lot of things that make it so that I could do work wherever I am. The place that I do a lot of my work is on an app called Notion, and now I have a widget on all my home screens for all my apps where I can just use it to get straight into my work and type stuff if I'm in a line or if I'm in a car or just waiting for people. And similar to the journaling, I have this dedicated notepad, of course U of T branded, that I have at my desk at all time. So if I need to write something down or I have an idea, I'll just write it in there and it'll be easy peasy. So that is my plan to improve myself in the next 90 days. If you want to make a plan similar to this, there's a video right here just for you all about that. And if you want to learn more about those SMART goals, there's a video right here for that too. That's all for now. More updates on these to come.